Welcome to MMA Fight Night. Khamzat Chimaev sent a pointed message to Dricus Du Plessis today on X. First, he shared a photo of a wolf. Then, he posted an image of Donald Trump, tagging Dricus Du Plessis and adding the unmistakable eyes emoji. Meanwhile, Aljamain Sterling is speaking out about his fight against Muar VV being placed on the prelims for UFC 310 this weekend. Aljo claims the UFC is going to realize they messed up by not putting this on the main card.
I didn't know if I should have been insulted by the placement on the fight card or glass half full. I guess that's the best way I try to look at everything in life. I get to fight earlier, get to be done earlier, I get to pop open a fresh bottle of Funk Harbor, hang out with the friends and celebrate a big win. I was a little confused by it, of course. I guess they have their rhyme or reason for what they do, the UFC brass, and it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not my organization. I don't call the shots, I just go out there and compete. And it's up to me to go out there and prove these guys wrong that, hey, we are and I am a main card fighter. I think people are going to be in for a very big surprise, and the UFC is going to realize we messed up big time by not putting this on the main card.
Kamaru Usman claps back at fans accusing him of being scared and ducking Shavkat Rakhmonov. Speaking on the Pound for Pound podcast, Kamaru dismissed the hype, saying he doesn't believe the Shavkat versus Ian Gary fight will be as thrilling as everyone expects.
This is an intriguing fight. This was a fight that, I was potentially going to slide into. But, I've touched on this a million times, which is crazy to me, Henry, because I'm seeing online people go, oh, you scared? You duck him? You ducked him? You scared? You scared? I'm like, what? What? Exactly. I'm like, wait, what? This is the same sentiment that I feel like people are doing to Jon Jones. It's just like when people where you're fans or fans of a fighter don't get their desired wish that they want, that's the fight I want. Then it's like, oh no, that guy must be scared because he didn't take the fight. Like, guys, shut up. Shut up. Yeah. We step in there each and every time. I have 25 or 22 or 25 fights. I don't know how many fights. But you think everyone, oh, you scared. Yeah, okay. World champion and defending belts time and time again. Oh, he's scared. Yeah. Shut up. Just because you didn't get what you wanted. Yeah. Guess what? It's like your mom telling you, no, you can't have that toy today. You can't have that toy. So shut your mouth. Instead, we got a banging fight. We've got Shavkat Rakhmonov taking on Ian Gary. Henry, now this fight, I'm saying, and I'm not hating in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I love the fight on paper, but I don't think it's going to be as exciting as people think. People are expecting blood, oh, this and that, and I don't think it's going to be that because Ian Gary is a smart fighter that's willing to just, if he has to dance around for 30 minutes, he's going to dance around. He's willing to do that in order to create the space that he wants in order to try to land his strikes. Shavkat, not necessarily. Shavkat's going to play the game with you for a little bit, but Shavkat at some point is going to want to get going. So if Ian doesn't want to get going, like we know, Henry, it takes two to tango. So if Ian doesn't want to get going, that fight might not be the bloodbath that everybody's expecting, everybody's craving and going, oh yeah, ooh, ah. But, I mean, on paper, I think it's a fantastic fight, and somebody's got to go.
Jim Miller isn't holding back about Donald Cerrone potentially returning to the UFC after openly admitting to using PEDs during his break. Jim, who fought and defeated Cowboy in 2022 via a second-round guillotine choke, Cowboy's last UFC bout, made his stance clear. Speaking to MMAfighting.com, Jim stated, "I have a tough time telling other grown men what to do. I don't really believe in it. But the fact that he was very, very open with his use of performance enhancers and the way the majority of his fights went, he got knocked out quite a few times. And that's not healing from going on a little testosterone replacement therapy or whatever. I'm not super into it, to be 100% honest. It's not my call. It's up to him and his team. If they want him to get punched in the head again, do your thing. I'm not a very big fan of the whole steroid vacation thing. What are we doing? But he's gonna do what he wants to do. I want to be in a situation where, when I'm done, I'm done. There's no, oh, well, I haven't been training fight camp hard for 6 months or a year, and now I feel better. Because I'm just working out and not grinding myself down into dust to then kind of jump back into it." Kai Kara France confidently claims he has the power to knock out both Alexandre Pantoja and Asakura.
I feel like I can definitely knock out Kai or Pantoja. So that's why I'll be tuning in. Let's say it now, if Pantoja wins, let's fight New Zealand. I'll headline it, me and him, for the title. front of my people.
Or if Kai wins, go to Japan.
There's a story there as well. I'd love to go back over there, fight Super Tama Arena in front of all the Japanese fans and fight for the title there. That would be awesome.
Matt Brown believes the UFC is powerless to rescue Conor McGregor from his current troubles. After Conor was found liable for assault last week, Matt argues that the only way forward is for Conor to save himself by steering clear of clubs and focusing on the gym. Speaking on the fighter versus the writer, Matt stated, "Conor's going to be in a storm here. Obviously, he's going to be fine financially. I don't think he's got any problems there, but publicity-wise, it's going to hurt him for sure. It should. Whether he was convicted criminally or not, which we're not going to get into, he was found civilly liable. The fact is, he put himself in a situation where something like this could happen. Now he's got to pay the consequences for it. He should be publicly held accountable for it. The public opinion of him has changed. He never had that squeaky clean image like Tiger Woods did. He wasn't that squeaky clean. We all knew he was kind of a wild man, but that kind of added to the allure. Like, he's a wild man, but he's a respectable martial artist. Now he crossed that line. At least according to a jury, he has crossed that line. There's a group of people that are going to have lost respect for him and are not going to care as much about what he does or not want to be involved with what he's doing. It has long-reaching effects. I don't think this is unsalvageable, but he has to be the one to salvage it. No one's going to be the one to save him in this situation. The UFC can't save him. He has to do the right things. Get out of the clubs, put down the straws, and get back in the gym. Maybe fighting isn't what he wants to do anymore, so maybe that's not the right path. But I think it's salvageable if he comes out and says, "I learned a lot from this situation, and I'm not putting myself in these types of situations anymore. I'm focusing on my family." All that kind of stuff. Says all the good things. People like to see a redemption story. People want people to be good people. We want Conor to do that, but he has to be the one to do it. It's not going to happen by itself. I'm going to be cheering him on if he does that, if he straightens out his life and becomes a better person from this whole scenario. I'm saying this with little confidence that that's what's going to happen. Maybe at some point in his life, that might happen. Just look at Tyson. It took him a long time. He was pretty old before he finally turned the corner. Conor might be the same guy. Alexandre Pantoja revealed he's eyeing a move up to bantamweight to take on Sean O'Malley. Before that, Pantoja defends his flyweight title this weekend against Asakura at UFC 310. In an interview with MMA Junkie, Pantoja shared, "No, I'm the flyweight champion. I want to stay here for a long time. I just thought about a move to fight Sean because we have some history before, He talks something bad. I want to prove I beat him in the gym and I could beat him in a real fight. A couple of options, good options. I just think about Asakura and making a great show for everyone. That's what I want to give to all my fans, a great show. On December 7th, it's going to be great." Tom Aspinall held a Q&A on his TikTok, revealing his all-time favorite heavyweights. He also spilled the beans about ongoing talks with Eric Nixick regarding a possible sparring session with none other than Francis Ngannou.
His prime, I still think I would have beat him then because I'm just better than him.
Who are your top three of all-time favourite heavyweights?
My top three heavyweights of all time are probably Fedor, is probably one, Cain Velasquez, and Stipe, probably my three favourites.
Who'd win an MMA fight between Andy Aspinall and Mike Tyson?
What, right now? I wouldn't want to see it, to be honest. Watched Mike Tyson box the other day and I thought, I don't want to see this. My dad's also like 61 years old, so I don't want to see either of them have a fight ever again.
What if John eye pokes you?
I don't know. I've not fought him yet, so I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. But for right now, I don't know.
What does your training regime look like in a week when you're preparing for a fight?
I'm someone who trains consistently anyway, but when I am training for a fight, it's mainly the intensity that's different, really. Like I'll still train once, twice a day if I've not got a fight, but the intensity is way different. The intentions that I'm putting in to my workouts are way different when I'm fighting. I'm focusing on what I'm doing. I'm not slacking off. Every training session when I'm in camp is very intense.
Do you think you could beat Brock Lesnar in his prime?
Yes, I'm way better than Brock Lesnar. That's why. I mean, he's old now, but when he was in his prime, I still think I would have beaten him then because I'm just better than him.
Has there been any talk between you and Eric Nixick about training or sparring with Francis Ngannou?
Yes, but that's personal conversation, so I keep that away from the camera. Me and Eric are friends, but that's personal business.
In all the years of fighting, who is the opponent that has teach you the most?
I don't know, I think you learn everything from every fight. Even if you can win the fight in a minute, you still learn about yourself a little bit. So I would say every fight's like a little lesson in itself, in my opinion.
What is the most fun martial art according to you to train?
I don't see it as separate martial arts. I see MMA as one thing. I think MMA is a sport in itself now. I think the days are gone where it's all separate. So I just like to train MMA. I like mixing it all together. That's what's fun.
Jorge Masvidal went off on Colby Covington during an appearance on Jake Shields' podcast. Jorge revealed that Colby would act all religious around him, but as soon as they were in a group, he'd completely change. He also shared that Jon Jones had warned him about Colby years ago, but he didn't listen.
Let's get into your beef with Colby Covington. Yeah, I never met him. I don't like
You
him.
wouldn't like
He just
him,
seems
right?
like so fake and cheesy.
He is a fake, bro. He'll meet you and he'll like try to best friend you and this and that. He's trying to like, he's a chameleon, man. You know, he's the type of dude that and I saw it happen many times. You know, he knew I was very religious, so if it was just me and him, we were talking about religious, he'd like open up, man. I'm so religious, man. I believe in God. I know that there's an intelligent design out there, and go like all into it. And then if we're in a group of people, and then like 2-3 people are like atheists, like, no, I don't believe in God. I went to college and this and that. I'd be like, yeah, I agree, man. It's just like the probability's too unlikely. I'd be like, but you
people like
mother,
that.
you mother, you told me like 2-3 weeks ago when you're getting high as a kite, how much you believe in God. Now there's no God. No, but like scientifically, he would always be wishy-washy. And you can still see it to nowadays. He's still a wishy-washy guy,
Well, he's had a falling out with all of his good long-term friends. If someone does that tells you something. I haven't had a falling out with any of my good friends. Yeah, Jon Jones.
Jon Jones warned me. That Jon Jones and T. Woodley, they warned me. That's the part I wish.
Yeah, you're like, damn, we should listen to these guys, right?
I 100% wish I would have, and T. Wood warned me a lot, and I was very close with Woodley and Kobe at the time. I was like, maybe they had fallen out. But then after he did it to my coach, that's when I knew this guy's a piece of shit.
That was the falling out with you? Oh, he didn't pay your coach or something?
He didn't pay my coach.
What a scumbag.
And that's when I already knew. And my coach trained him from his amateur fight all the way to his interim belt fight with Rafael Dos Anjos. All those fights he trained him. And then now, like, you finally got the belt, so you finally get a little bit of money, as we all know. Like, pay the man. And he straight up stiffed him on that. And I knew since then, like, this guy's just a piece of shit, bro.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys do that. They'll be not making that much money. They're paying their coaches, and they get a good payday, and they're like, oh,
gone. Next coach, and let me get the next one cheaper. And now I saved a bunch of money.
They're like, oh, I have a name now. A guy will want to do it for cheap because of my name.
Yeah, I never been that type of guy. I'm gonna take care of the ones that have been there with me grinding from the start.